Yo, what's happening? Welcome to the crib. It's my podcast. Y'all enjoy it. God bless. Welcome to the S.A.G podcast. I'm your host Noah. I'm with my two wonderful parents. While you see me make on what it is, go ahead and introduce yourselves for the beginning.
I'm Mom, Jenny Gonzalez.
Oh, you guys make it so awkward.
I'm Leo. How are you? The dad.
Right? So first and
Oh,
foremost,
we could have guessed that.
I mean, at least they call me dad, so I'm good with that.
right? I mean, I call you Pop, but first and foremost, all glory to God. Without Him, I wouldn't be here right now.
Amen.
His grace has gave me a lot to do what I do. So want to give a big shout out to homeboy up there. Just letting you guys know that when the camera turns off, that means it's not done recording. It means it's still recording. So letting you guys know that.
Okay.
Thank you.
We're good? Capiche?
Yeah.
Yes.
Capiche?
Yeah.
So I was looking to film this for a long time now, but we had some setbacks
Yeah,
because of my laziness, I want to say.
Because we got to be prepared.
that's right.
Which we are prepared. I prepared I do got questions. I just didn't write it down.
He got
So-
questions that we don't know,
Yeah,
so
Yeah,
we don't know
pretty
what's
much,
coming.
so-
He prepared no
Yeah.
questions.
He
So
prepared,
first off-
he prepared himself.
So first off, y'all just came back from your second trip from Italy.
That's
you guys,
right. Yes.
your second trip, right?
But
So in the past 4
They do
years, they have been to Italy, Spain, and then Italy again. How's it like, huh? 3 countries in the past 4 years. How's it like?
I loved it. I mean, and the best thing with Italy was that the first time we went to the north. So we did Rome, and we went to Florence, Tuscany, and then we end up in Venice. This time we went south.
Okay.
So we
and
went,
just us too.
and it was just me and her. The first time we took her brother and his sister-in-law.
Which will be on the podcast in the future.
Yeah. So I mean, it was Italy's like divided in half. The north side is in the south. They even speak different.
The dialects are completely
know.
different. It's
So
really-
it was a really good experience. I mean, we had a great
But
time.
the culture is still amazing.
Yeah.
The history is like
The people,
excellent to learn
the people are
about.
super friendly. Like literally, they will help you if you ask any questions.
Humble.
Yes, that's one thing about Italy that we love about
I know
that.
the food there is probably amazing.
We
Everything's
love the
probably
food.
Just the flavors is
Yeah.
is great.
different than from here.
It is.
The culture is different than what we're used to here, because there you wake up, you have breakfast. Their breakfast is always a coffee and something sweet, a croissant, a donut, something sweet. For us, it's bacon,
Scrambled
egg, and
eggs.
cheese.
Bacon and cheese.
There,
Well, you know what? Talking about that, I was looking at a report. They're saying that a big breakfast was invented by Americans
Of course.
because it was another way to sell meat.
Oh,
So
That's why bacon
instead
and
of you
sausage
eating
is-
like a steak or anything, you got the bacon, the sausage, and stuff like that. So it was the other way to literally eat the meat that you usually didn't eat.
Okay. I don't know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It
and
is.
our breakfast is
Yeah.
comprises of this many things versus 2 things in Italy. Sufficient to drive you onto lunchtime, where again you have a bite of a sandwich, you might get a pizza, you might get just something simple just to keep you satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a break in between from like 1 o'clock to like 6 o'clock, because dinner for us didn't really start till about 7:30, 8 o'clock
7:30, 8 o'clock.
every night.
Oh wow.
With reservations, and sometimes we couldn't make reservations because we were in a different city, so we didn't know.
So you guys being in a different country, how does it feel, when you go to that country and you come back to this country? Is it eye-opening? Is it
Yes.
like a big change?
Yes.
It's a change. It's different. To me, and I guess because we live here and this country has given us so much.
Right.
It's-
And we're gonna go dive
Yeah.
deep in a little bit more about
It's
you
just-
guys.
it's
since
still,
both
to
y'all not
me,
from here.
It's fun, it's good, but then you gotta look at it at this side. You're not working there, you're not living the regular life
You're
there.
not immersed.
You're not immersed into the day
Fully immersed.
to day,
Business.
business and work and stuff like that. You go there to have fun.
Right.
Let's go visit here, let's go visit there. So
Unlike
that
when-
is it's fun. That is great. We love it. Yes. But when you come back, and I think me and Mom was talking about, we were like, oh, you know, we're on the flight. We're like, oh, we're coming back to reality, and then we looked at each other. It was like,
Our reality is not that bad.
our reality is
Yeah,
not
'cause I
that
know
bad.
Reality
the
is
same
somebody
feeling. The
else's
same feeling you guys
wish.
have when you guys go over there, like, oh, let's go have fun. It's probably the same feeling if they were to come over here
True,
and be
Yeah.
like, oh
True.
wow, we're in America.
true.
Yeah, because
Same
remember,
feeling over
you're
there.
a tourist.
Oh my God, I'm in
You
Italy.
go there to like we did. We were Pompeii, then
Amalfi Coast.
Amalfi Coast, then we went
Bari.
Matera. Matera is the third oldest city in the world. It's over 10,000 years old.
Yeah.
You go over there and it's amazing because you don't have that here.
The
Yeah.
culture is different in the sense
Everything's
of
older. Oh,
where they eat or how they eat. Their commute system is completely opposite from what we are. There's lots of walking, you know, you're cycling, you're biking, you're, you know, motorcycling, some driving. But overall, a lot of people travel by bikes,
Right, so you-
motorbikes,
so
or
you don't-
even train or buses.
Yeah,
don't
you
really
take a
need
lot of
car.
train and bus.
So you truly don't really need a car when
You-
if you live over there.
You can survive without
Yeah.
it. There's a lot of walking.
Especially
Compared to
in
here.
bigger
For
cities.
sure.
Like in Rome, you don't need a car.
No.
And
Sure.
in Puglia, you don't need a car. Now, if you go to a smaller city, like we went to Foggia,
Yeah.
you maybe for some things you might need a car. But those big cities, it's the
But
train.
they have a good bus and they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a great subway station or fast train, express train, whatever you want to call it. Train Italia was great. You can just go anywhere by just buying a train ticket. And then you come to America and you're hopping on a car and we came back and we were walking 10 miles a day. We didn't feel it. We haven't walked 5 miles
Oh,
a
walk
day since
anything.
we've been back 2 weeks now. And it's like,
Feels
why is it
different.
so? Of course, we're back to a routine. You're back to working, and so, but it's like not priority. There, it's priority to walk to where we gotta get to.
Right, right. So, you guys are both not from America. You're from
We're
born and raised in
immigrants.
Cuba,
Yes, sir.
Yep,
and you're born and raised in the Dominican Republic.
that's correct.
So, seeing now that you guys are here in America, you guys are older now. If you guys,
Thank you.
if-
Hey, not too old now.
Yeah,
oh, okay, I
We're
want to say
old.
older.
We're wiser.
Okay.
yeah.
Have more wisdom.
A
Now,
little
you
more
guys
experience than
both have had a difficult situation growing up. I want to say, from the audiences know, but from what I know. So your 18-year-old selves, did you guys picture yourself where you at right now
Nope.
Absolutely not.
at 18 years old,
No.
or even 21?
Nope.
No.
Or the age I am, I wouldn't. Our blessings that we have received from God is not one that in my mind I could have projected at 18.
Mhm.
There's no
Anyway,
way.
I mean, just think, like you said, we came from two different countries. We lived in two different places. And at that time we didn't know nothing about this, but just meeting each other was a blessing, and we didn't even know about
Mm-hmm.
because everything that had to happen
That was really nice.
for us to meet was a blessing. Just
And I know that you were when you came to America in the States, you were born and raised in Miami, Florida, right?
No, I wasn't born and raised.
I mean, not born. Sorry, you were mainly
Yes, I came to this country when I was 12 years old.
from 12 and up. You were mainly from Miami.
I was literally
Down
a state in
south.
Miami. Yeah, Miami, the
And
Hialeah
you
area.
were in
NYC, baby.
New York.
Mhm.
What part? In Queens, right? Queens.
I was raised for a little bit in Brooklyn, South Side, and then the majority of my teenage I was in Queens, which is
Okay.
borderline Queens Knickerbocker.
Okay. Now I know that what you guys tell me is that your first meeting and after your first meeting and then
Was a
your
blind
second, your
date.
third, your fourth, your fifth, it wasn't pretty.
No.
You guys didn't meet.
The
When you guys
first-
met, you guys were like,
we met in a blind date. My friend was dating her cousin, and so the way we did it was, I guess she was here for like 2-3 weeks or more than that, and they're like, hey, she's been here for like a while. She's she's not going out. Blah 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 blah. Would you like to go out with us?
Just before I say that, I came from New York. I was 20 years old, and it was a completely new life for me. I didn't come with my parents. I came by myself,
yourself.
and I just needed just a fresh start, and that was it for me. So I was in the gist of trying to figure out what my next move is, what I'm doing with life as far as career, education. Like, am I gonna? Is
And
my
at
status
this point
gonna
in
be-
your guys' life, were you guys as close to God as you are now? Were you guys want to say you guys were further away?
Nowhere near. Nowhere near.
I was raised
No, not me.
You guys-
God-like.
Catholic, right?
I was raised Catholic all my life in Dominican Republic. Sundays we go to church. You had confessions. I went to a Catholic school in DR. So I mean, my life was not the way it
In
is.
Cuba was different. In Cuba, you literally were not allowed to go to church. Church was bad.
Yeah, we're completely different. I've
Yeah.
always had that. I've always been taught the Word of God. And then in New York, my mom was fully into the religion. So she was Pentecostal. My grandma, God rest her soul, was Seventh-day Adventist. And then I was raised a Christian or Catholic. Then
Right.
older, I became a Christian.
So you said that in Cuba,
Yeah.
church was bad. So
The
how did
church
you
was
find-
not bad. It was not the church being bad. If you go to church, the people look at you bad.
because you go
Like
to church.
the Cuban communist regime was atheist, so they didn't allow church. Like I had a church right next to my house, and literally when there was church time, you'll see 1, 2, no more than 10 older folks in the church. No more than that.
And I was just completely
Because
opposite.
it was if you were to go to church, we're already in a stage that we were not the best look at people because of what happened. My story with my family. So the government already didn't look at us like first class citizen. We were like kind of the dirt of the dirt. And on top of that, going to church, it was going to be worse for my family.
Just taboo.
Yeah, so yeah, going to church was like you can see the videos back then. Oh my God, we don't, it was bad, and it was not because the church was bad. It was because the people would look at you bad because since 1959, Cuba was, you were raised that the church didn't exist, God didn't
It's
exist.
just a society there.
Yeah, that's what they teach you. There was no Christmas. There was no, what's the one we have now? Easter or Passover. There was none of that stuff. That did not exist.
Because it was mainly bad.
Because they were atheists.
Okay.
Now we celebrate all those holidays, but not the American way. Christmas, you go to church. That's Jesus Christ's birthday. You celebrate it in church. Then you have Easter. This is Holy Week, so you go to church. You have Lent. You go to church. We celebrate all those holidays. We didn't celebrate Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day, or we don't celebrate Halloween. But Halloween is a day of celebration of of spirits of dead, I guess.
So you both upbringing of learning about God is completely
different.
You were,
For sure.
it was bad.
It was,
you were looked down
it was
on.
never mentioned in my family. Never spoke about it. We never talk about God.
The Dominican people, just by itself, when we see our family members, it's understood that you're supposed to ask for their blessing. So we always say bendición. That's tradition for us. Might be tradition for other countries as well, but for sure in Dominican Republic, bendición is number one. You say bendición to your parents when you wake up in the morning. You say bendición when you're walking out the door, and that's a kiss, and you say bendición. And the response to that from them is Dios te bendiga, que vaya con Dios. God bless you. God be with you. That's how strong God is in our country.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's not an
something to be played
afterthought.
with.
No.
Yeah, played
It's
with.
No, it's
beginning,
like
middle, and
at
end
least
of the day.
easy like no shoot like 70% Catholic.
Or I would say
More.
more.
And was that something that you looked forward to, or was it, were you like, was it pushed on you too much?
Religion is normal for me. I can't look at it and say that it was pushed on to me. It was our routine.
So
It was what our bread and butter
Yeah.
was.
It's like
to
you
my
going to school.
My grandparents.
So some people find God differently. Do you think you found the true meaning of God then, or you found the true meaning of what God really means to you later on in your life,
I understand God now.
compared to when you were doing all that? So we're back. Little technical difficulties with some stuff. It's overheating. It's a little hot in here, so I don't blame the camera for overheating. But let's go back. Well, I guess we could talk a little bit more about what you're saying about the blessings.
Yeah, like did not grow up like mom, you know, church, all that stuff. Once you get older and you start looking back, and all your blessings, and things that happen, and if you think about it, you're like, wow, these things, they don't happen because they happen. There has to be something bigger that's putting everything in the right place at the right time for us to happen. Since I'm telling you,
And it's not luck.
no, there's no luck. So to me, since like I go back, like you said, first day, a blind day, was not the best day ever. Neither was
Say the truth. Say the truth when
neither
you saw
of
me.
us liked
Say
each
the
other.
truth when you saw me.
Yeah, she was hot. She was very good looking, but she was a New Yorker. She thought she was the shit.
Still do. Anyway.
And and then there goes this Cuban guy, and I'm like, I don't like this girl. She thinks she's all that. But then I don't know how, and like I said, it has to be blessings, because I don't remember how it started, how far in between it happened, between the first and the second day. But at the second day, it was different, because we went out, just me and her. I know we had a couple of drinks, and we watched, there was some live music going on, and it was a completely different everything, right?
Yeah, because you weren't showing up. Now it was just me and you. You didn't have any ammo. You weren't showing up. It was just us.
I never
So
show up.
You were your own person.
Okay, I can say the same thing about you.
So
I wasn't showing off.
when did you guys know that this is my person? When did you guys figure out that God has blessed me with this person and it's going to be my person for from days to come?
We went through so many up and downs that I tell her when.
Didn't you get you knocked up, right?
He wasn't my person then.
Yeah, listen. Truly, I think we came closer when we moved to the Waterway house.
And if people don't know what that is, that's by, look up Ocala, Florida. It's in that area. And I just showed off where we live, but it's okay. I'm not saying
It's
that
fine.
address.
That's.
I knew the potential he had.
Oh, thanks.
But he didn't.
He didn't realize the potential he had, which was a conflict for me because I knew that we can be here, but he was fine being there. And then I guess it switched a little bit
When what happened?
when we had you, that it became more of we have responsibilities. So we
And you
either
stayed
work
home.
we either work on our marriage or I'm gonna be a full-time mom by myself.
Yeah.
Because he worked a lot and he was out, he traveled a lot too when he did the job he had. So a lot of the responsibilities fell on me. So I felt like he wasn't my person then. I didn't have a person. I didn't even know what that
we were
meant.
just going
You guys were
We're
just
just
going with the
living.
flow.
with the flow. Yeah, we just
I knew my responsibilities, he
Yeah.
knew his responsibilities, we're moving on.
Even with the kids.
even
Yep.
with the kids. Yeah.
We're moving on. It wasn't a defined thing. You do this, I do this. I knew that my job was to make sure the boys are well.
And
Focus
there
in
goes
school.
another blessing. We couldn't even talk to each other because we end up arguing back then. And something happened in the middle that I think we both realized that, okay, it's not going to work this way. So we need to meet in the middle. And like I said, it just happened. We didn't plan it. It just happened. And that's another blessing. Because God was like, hey, listen, you guys are made for each other. You just need to meet in the middle.
But we had to go through all that
Yeah.
to realize that he is my person, and that we are where we at. But I also had to make sure that I realized that his brain works differently than mine. My expectations are different than his. His role is different than my role. And ultimately, I had to make sure that I made myself happy. I was expecting him to do that for me, because that's what I saw growing up. But that's not the way it is.
So what I get out of that is, if you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody else.
Correct.
Thank you. And there was a time that she
Correct.
didn't love herself.
And I always told him for a while. I always told him, and here and there, sometimes I'll say,
So-
I said, thank you for loving us. And thank you for, what do I always say? Thank you for loving us and for loving me more than I love myself.
Love me for me.
Yeah.
Because there was a time that your mom just, and you gotta understand, she went through so much, and it was,
That's a whole nother video to know.
yeah, but
That's a whole
you
nother
know,
one.
it was so much that it was just,
Well, there was a
She had to
reason
change
why
completely.
She took a little trip to Florida when she was only 20 years old. So
That's
let's
right.
just like back to what saying, her upbringing wasn't very sweet compared to mine or my brothers. So
My childhood was bad. My childhood back home in my native country was,
good, but when
from
you
what I
moved
remember, was
to New
positive.
York,
New York was a little rough.
New York was really rough from what
See,
I.
Yeah.
I think my household was just unstable, and my parents didn't know any better, that their focus was just themselves. It wasn't on the children. It was, we never went without food, we never went without a home, or we always had the best clothing. Parents drove really nice cars. We lived in a really great neighborhood. We were probably the only Spanish people in that neighborhood for a long time. But there was no real happiness in the
They
house.
provided the right things, but they weren't really a parent. They were more of.
They were providers.
They were provider. There you
That's
go.
it.
mine
They
was
weren't
different.
parents. They're providers.
Mine was completely different. We didn't have much.
You got yours was parents.
Yes.
But they
well,
couldn't provide
it
as
was
much.
mom,
Oh.
because that was never in the picture because of what happened. But it was mom, grandma, grandpa, uncle, and like I didn't had those things, the fancy cars,
He didn't have the materialistic part.
the cool clothes. You know, let's go eat steak every day. We didn't have that.
Whoa, I didn't say we did all of that.
But we did had the family. Family was very, very close.
So you had the Bacero and the Yorker, pretty much.
Pretty
meet
much.
up and
Yeah. So
Miami.
the Bacero had the family structure with love.
And the Yorker had.
She had the
everything.
bougie stuff.
She had the bougie everything, but
Not
not
even bougie.
the love part. You had everything but the love part, which is the most important part.
I guess, yeah.
And
Again, you get along with your siblings very well. It was just the parental roles were not played right.
I think now we do better than when I did growing up, because I'm the oldest of four. And so when I was in Dominican Republic that I came here, I was expected to be responsible for parent-like duties at a teenager age, and that was not cool for me.
So you got
I
put in
wanted
the
to be
mom
a
role
teenager.
immediately.
And when my little brother was born, from the beginning to the end, I diapered, changed, fed. I became a parent for him.
You know me.
And I think now, the way my upbringing was allowed me now, realizing that I'm much more mature in life. I'm more organized in my thoughts and in my ways. I was not ready to be a mom, but when I became a mom,
You were prepared.
I knew what I
And,
needed
and,
to do.
and that goes back to her being mature, ready. I grew up. I had my kid upbringing was awesome. We didn't need much. I went in the streets, I played baseball, I did this, I did that, played with my buddies, went hunting, so I didn't have that upbringing of mom. Mom became a mom before even having a kid.
Right.
I was a kid, I was allowed to be a kid, mom was not. I was allowed to be a teenager, mom was not. So she never, to me, she never got to do anything for her, so she never got to know herself or love yourself because
Agreed.
everything was always about somebody else.
Never about herself.
Not me. I grew up, like I said, and like I said, we didn't have much, but very close family and a lot of love, and that's one of the things we clash because I'm like, why don't she love herself? And and I never but at that time I didn't understood where she was coming from because I didn't live that life. So I was like,
They didn't teach me that.
but you know what I mean? I go and kiss my family and everything. She's a little bit more dry, and I'm like, and then she didn't live my life. I didn't live her life. And when we had Adrian, our first boy, we were, God, we're not even a year together, was it? Yeah, we were like,
We knew each other 6 months when I became
and then you became pregnant.
with Adrian.
So we really never got to meet, like,
We never got to date.
and really got to know each other before we're like, okay, shit,
Here's-
now we got to move in
Here's a
together,
new responsibility.
and then she brought herself and I brought myself,
And you got
And then a kid.
and it was two different things. Exactly. I remember I was living my life and she came from responsibility. I had zero responsibility,
you were just living as a teen.
you
Just
know.
living life how life should be lived, pretty
Yeah.
much enjoying it.
And then she came for responsibility of already being a mom. And like, and to me, the always issue with your mama was she can never find herself because it was never about her. It was always
there was no
about,
time for that.
somebody else. And I always sort of,
It wasn't a priority.
that was like my biggest thing with her. Until you don't love yourself, you're not gonna get to love me or anybody else. I
Right.
told her a lot.
But I knew from the get-go when Adrian was born that my priority was to make sure that I am a better parent than that of what I
And
had.
you are an amazing mom.
And I wanted to make sure that I built a bond with Adrian. I wanted to make sure that he was talented, that he learned, that he was well loved. I wanted to express that, and that took a lot of work for me because I did not grow up in a household where every day, although you say bendición, Dios te bendiga,
They don't.
I
really
didn't.
mean
I
it.
did not grow up listening to my mom and dad say "I love you." That was not a thing. As an adult now, I tell my dad, is the only one I have a real relationship with, and I message with him. I tell him I love you, and he'll say I love you, but never heard it verbalized growing up. Never. My grandmother that raised me in Dominican Republic was one that would say, te quiero mucho, I love you very much, porque te tengo mucho cariño, and I care for you. But it was never, I love you. Those words were not, to me, I learned that in America. I heard it from friends. I heard it when I dated.
But it didn't mean.
But there was no real meaning to it because
They use that word.
what
just to throw it
what
around.
meaning can I have to that word if it was never something that I ever learned to feel or express?
Right.
They cared for you. You had a home and you were provided for, but that to me was love.
Okay.
So having Adrian, I needed to make sure I provided that plus myself. And that's where the hard part was because I had to become a parent that I really didn't have much of an example being, but I knew what not to do. And Leo is very, we did this book years ago. It was called The 5 Languages of Love. The author is Chapman.
I feel like love is an action, not even like you can't, and if you don't prove it, then you can't say it.
It is an action. It's a verb, but at the same time, his way of expressing love is a lot of physical. So he'll hug and kiss you, and like he has to make sure that him touching you is letting you know,
Yeah, I love you.
got you.
I'm here for you.
That was him. For me, it was acts of service. I cook dinner, the house is clean, the laundry's folded, the boys are well taken care of. That's my love language. You're good. We got quality time. We're all sitting on the couch together watching TV or a movie or whatever it was. That was my love language. So there was a disconnect in the middle.
Quality time with the people that you care about.
Yeah.
Is your love
Like
language.
when I give you guys a hug and a kiss, for me it's an expression like, hey, love you, I got you. I'm here for you. That is the way I express it.
I learned that with Adrian.
And that's you always every time I see you guys, kiss, hugs, because that's me. That's me telling you, I got you. Your mom was different.
Right.
I learned that with Adrian. I grew up with him. He grew up with me. And so we're close. We can say I'm close to Adrian.
Oh yeah.
He's pretty close to us, and I'm
It's your
UCF.
firstborn.
UCF, huh?
It's your firstborn.
It is my firstborn.
So
But the relationship I built with him helped catapult the relationship that I transformed with you, the relationship that I'm building with Liam, and the relationship that I'm building with Dad.
and Stella.
Of course, the dog and Stella and everybody else that I've learned that is in my life. I've learned to love them in the way that I guess love should be.
Not how God intended love to be. Which I go back to saying, I have no room to talk about this because I'm still young. I mean, I haven't really.
But you have great examples.
Yeah, I want to say that I've learned by my past experiences that it's not. I mean, just to live pretty much. I mean, you guys were not destined to be until you guys worked it out pretty much, right?
We were destined to be from the moment we
I
met.
think from the beginning.
We did not
You
see
didn't
that.
know it.
We didn't know about it.
You
we
didn't know God's blessing when He blessed you with it.
No.
And
That
that's
was
what.
a curse for a little bit.
And
It's
that's
like,
when I go back
I
to
have
like,
a kid, I'm stuck.
I didn't understood God into later in my life when you go through all these steps and all
Trials and
this.
tribulations.
Yes, like, okay, first day suck, second day better, in between somewhere she got pregnant. Now we gotta live together. But
we
I
didn't
don't.
have to.
We did have to.
We did not have to live together.
I think we did.
But we both decided to assume responsibilities.
Yes, we had to. I mean, we're not gonna go what happened with you. To me, I don't.
Right.
I don't want to go there. But yeah, it was. We had to. There's no choice.
But ultimately,
For me,
you did not have to step up
No,
to the plate
but
the way
as,
you did.
as a man, knowing what was going on with you at that time, there was no other choice.
And-
That's the way I look at it.
And I 100% respect that because I didn't have nothing.
So it was.
It's crazy that I hear this is that God put you on a battle or war in your case because it lasted a long time and you guys didn't even know you entered the war when you guys
There's
entered
a war every
Mhm.
single day. My right now today, I choose your dad every day. I don't have to choose him every day. Just because we're together doesn't mean no. I choose to be with him
because
every day.
feelings only can last so
I
long.
want to be with him. No, because it's a work every day. It's a work of progress every day. You have to work at your relationship.
And you got
If
this-
you think we're okay and we continue doing the same monotonous thing every day, one of these days we're gonna be like, yeah, what's going on? Like we're not connecting. Like if just sitting on the couch every day is what becomes the new norm, it becomes a moment where you're like,
Like, what the
what's
heck
going
is
on?
this?
Where's the spark? So
Yeah,
it's
you
a
gotta
work
find new
of
ways.
it's a work of progress every single day
But
to
It
choose
takes
him.
two, not one.
Yes, but this is
No matter
something.
what. Effort.
If it's like a young couple, they listens to this, or people that got kids, great to be with the kids, great to do things with the kids, but you need to learn how to do things with yourselves, because I think this is the way now. I think we appreciate each other more now than before because we learned that we got things in common and we can do things of ourselves that has nothing to do with you guys.
We've been doing.
Sorry, but this thing keeps on cutting out. It's remember first time podcast. I swear it's gonna get better as we move on. So we have a couple minutes here.
We left off just quickly about vacationing. So where I was stating that for a period of time our focus was the kids, and that's why our marriage was struggling. Once we noticed that we need to take time to get to know each other, to understand who we were in what stages of our lives, we only learned by taking vacations together without the kids. Because there was no focus of what did the kids want to do. It was the focus of who are you, where are you going, and vice versa. And that was the only way to be able to move forward with hurdles, is just identifying who we were in that period of time and working through that and understanding and talking about it and enjoying who we are,
As a
not
team.
being parents, just
Being us.
as him being him and me being me, and then we so happen to be together. But we need to make sure we identify who we were,
That's
and that has helped
A lot.
build relationship.
I mean, that's
Stronger
something
than
that I
that.
recommend to like every parent.
Yeah,
Yes, the kids are super important. You love your kids, you know, do whatever you need to do for them, but you need to understand that you got to do things by yourselves.
and don't wait till the kids are grown to do it.
No, because we know people that they've done that, and then the kids are 18, 20 or whatever, and now the kids leave the house, and they don't know what to do with themselves because they never did anything
We
together.
have nothing in common.
If it not have to do with the kids.
Mhm.
So we did everything together with the kids, but you're never gonna really find out what she's all about, what she likes, or what I'm all about, what I like.
Is this microphone on?
So it's just, kids are important,
Pound it.
but spending time with your significant other is important too.
It's number one.
Yeah, find something.
God, your relationship, your family. If you have no relationship with God,
nothing successful.
nothing, everything else crumbles. If your relationship with God has a strong hold, then you're able to build your relationship with each other through God, and you are able to be better parents for your
Yeah,
kids.
and you can project that in your kids.
It's simple math.
Like you see us, we hug, we kiss, things like that. We joke around, we have fun with each other.
We get upset with each other.
Oh yeah.
You've seen the good, the bad, and the
But
ugly.
but then you see that okay, we are humans, and we're gonna make mistakes. But at the end of the day, we love each other. I do anything for her, and I'm pretty sure she'll do anything for me. And then tomorrow, and when 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, that all you three guys decide to do your own life, I think we're in a good place.
We'll be alright. We'll come to visit. We'll make sure we see the grandkids if we have some.
Spoil the
We're
shit
gonna
out of
spoil
them.
them. Destroyed your house the same way you guys destroyed ours, messy wise.
Mhm.
And then we're gonna roll out. Peace.
That's nice.
And we're gonna be alright.
That's
Oh, yeah.
nice.
That we're gonna take care of, like we're gonna worry about you, that we're gonna make sure that you guys are okay
Always. Listen,
But we good.
we can be 100 years old and you guys can be in your 70s.
We'll be good.
You're still gonna be our kids.
Yeah. We'll be good. That's our point of view. That's what has worked for us. That's what I believe is part of where a lot of divorces happen, is where you don't take that moment to figure out who you are by yourself. I have vacation and time that I take away with my friends, and he does the same. We meet in the middle. Sometimes he goes away and does his guy things. And I had a period of time where I was like,
You
no.
don't trust them?
It
But
wasn't
now-
about trust. It was like, your time has to be spent with me and the family. And that was selfish.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned that.
So we have a couple more minutes for the podcast
Okay.
until it ends. If you can leave relationships or just people out there in general with one thing, what would it be? What would your be? Your message? Okay, your message to your younger self. What would you tell your younger self?
Oh wow.
Just completely flip it off.
My younger self. That's
One message.
Yeah, but see, that's a hard question because without all the things I did, bad or good, I'm not the person I am today.
It doesn't have to be a message of you could be like you're gonna be good in the future, like you're gonna like stuff like that. Maybe something that's motivational, something that's comforting to them.
Okay, believe in yourself, right? Always believe in yourself. Always know that God got you. If it's something you really want to do, go do it. Go do it. To me, God does not put a dream in your head if He knows that you cannot do it.
Right. The same way how you guys put you guys together, He wouldn't put you guys together if He knew that you guys weren't gonna work out.
Exactly.
So He put you guys to the war because He knew that you guys were the right soldiers for the war.
So to me, if you got something in your head, a dream or something comes up, and you think it's too hard or too difficult, no, never give up. Go for it. Do it, because God will not put a dream in your head if He doesn't. He knows you can do it. It might be hard work, because everything is hard work. But you work hard now, and then later on, you see, like us. It was hard, really hard, but now we're in a place that, to me, it's a blessing place.
Right. So whenever your guys' story ends, let me tell you right now, it'll be a good story to read.
I think so.
I hope so. My story
When your book ends.
I look forward to the day where my boys are building relationship with their future spouse, wives, whatever, more beautiful than what we were able to construct, and be able to have those same relationships built stronger with their own children. Not backwards, like be present, be there, be available.
We have created such a good example. We have created such a good example as parents.
We hope.
That we hope that you guys can follow it and make it better.
I tried, just person.
It's okay. God has the right person for you.
I know. I'm gonna know.
You doesn't know yet.
I know.
When we met, we didn't know we were the right person.
I know, and that's why I figure out. I feel blessed to have His presence in my life since I was a young age.
It took me till I was 24 years old to meet the right person. And that's just life. Like I said, you might find it right away.
God has my love story written, and that's what I'm excited for.
I was 20 years old, and when I left New York, I came to Florida with a broken heart, no hope or no idea of I need to find someone. That was not a thing for me.
It just came.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did not.
God has written.
I came in
the love
July.
story.
I came in July to Florida with a broken heart from a guy who said he could not marry me because his parents would not accept me because I was not of the same kind, culture-wise, country-wise, whatever. And I had to leave that situation. I had to leave that environment, only to find myself a whole month later meeting somebody that I was not ready for, and be together 24 years later.
That's crazy. That's a crazy story. Let me tell you.
It is.
It is a crazy story.
No.
That's a story that you look like that has to be in the movie. It has to be in the movie.
And that's when we go back to our blessings. Everything had to happen so good. Like, on my side, right? I was about 15 years old, and I stumbled in a older folks playing softball. Right? So I started playing softball with them. I was 15. I was still playing baseball. And then they did that every Sunday. So on Sundays, I'll go play softball with them. Once I was, even 3 years later, once I was already done with baseball and all that stuff, you know, those same people made a softball team, and then I was part of it. And that softball team is where I met her cousin's boyfriend. So from 15, God already
Had it planned out.
boom, 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 you know, and now look, like I said, it was. What if my father would never? I'll be like, oh, but your old people playing softball. I don't play softball. I'm 15 years old.
I mean, I could have gone to another state
At
because
the
I had
end
the
of the day-
opportunity and I didn't.
Is that everything happened for a reason, and
God's
and
reason.
God has it, like
Yep.
from us, the way I left Cuba.
And what you guys had was real love, and that proves that love never fails.
I hope so. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but for right now, I'm solid where I am. I'm not going anywhere. If you face your whole life looking for the beauty in someone physically,
Hey, a lot of beauty.
but if you focus on
Lord have
that,
mercy.
you're gonna have a hard time. You really are gonna have
Because
a
I
hard
feel
time.
like the looks go away after a while, huh?
They
Doesn't
do,
matter.
but no matter how looks go away, because you love that person, the looks will be
Can I
there.
say I fell in love with your mom because of the cooking? No, no.
I am a good cook and I love to cook,
She
but
is.
not because of that. Anyhow, but before we end, I want to say this. Today I asked a question to you guys when I messaged you guys about the song that I heard about counting your blessings,
Yeah.
and I asked.
Didn't ask you a question. You sent me a text message. It wasn't a question.
Oh, I said,
It's a paragraph.
and
Which
I
love.
said
I couldn't find the right way to answer that.
the
to be honest.
the sentence, the statement in that sentence said, I mean, to count your blessings, and then the question that I asked was, you know, I know you can count your blessings, but how high can you count?
Exactly. That's why I've been praying every night, and that's one thing in my prayers. Like, I appreciate the blessings I have that I don't even know are blessings.
What was my response?
Your response is, I don't remember how you worded it, but it was in the sense, the blessing is of me loving you. I can count. What was it? How did you phrase that? I don't remember.
It's in my love for you.
Is the greatest blessing.
Something like I know I forgot.
Some
Yeah, that
lovey-dovey
was-
stuff, man.
Yours was a good response today. That was
I
really
know where I
sweet.
get it all from. We also gotta be a little hard playboy at the end of the day.
Okay, I
That's
don't know.
good.
But my POV was is that we're so worried about so many things that the little things that we
Little things matter.
don't look at that our blessings are somebody else's wish or somebody else's wants
And one thing
needs.
I've also learned, as in past relationships with friends
Yeah.
or just other people in general, is that even if they treat you so good, or just like somebody's being so nice to you, doesn't mean that they're doing okay.
So her question,
If that
at
makes
least
sense.
to me,
Just
was
cut me off, dog.
it's just listen. That's why you
My
that.
bad.
She goes, don't forget to count your blessings. Can you count that high?
But can you count that
But
high?
can you count that high? And I told her that the only thing I can count that high is my love for you.
Oh snap!
Like what kind of a comeback can I have to that?
Nothing. You just react.
Like
you
I
just be
can't.
Like, oh,
That's like, psh.
yeah.
I was dumbfounded by that. I was like,
nothing you can say. You could be like, I love you.
That
That's
was-
it.
I did say,
Yeah.
I
she
said-
says, I love you, my king.
yeah, I did say that.
Oh man, one day.
Yeah. It's
I
gonna
did.
happen. It's
But
not
know that
happening.
it wasn't where
It wasn't
like that
wasn't
always.
from the jump.
yeah.
You- you worked
we
out
had a
to go-
lot of
to
rough
get where
times,
you are.
man.
He's my blessing for sure. I always tell him he's much better of a person than I could ever be. And he says, no, I'm not. I was like, yeah, you've taught me a lot in life. You're much better of a person than I could ever be.
She's amazing.
What? We're. That's crazy.
Anyway, it's been cool.
It's been cool.
Yes.
This right here is a blessing in itself.
It is.
So,
Thank you.
We get to spend time together.
what for a good
Alright.
hour? solid
Gonzo
hour.
out. Gonzo parents out.
Yeah. This
Love you.
this concludes the second
Hopefully this
episode.
goes well. You
Nice,
blast
yeah.
off.
This concludes the
See,
second
hopefully
episode.
this you get blessed with this and more of these, and probably Hopefully, people listen to it. You get better at it. We all get better at it,
Just grow.
and grow with
Pretty
it.
much, it's a growing process.
All right.
This isn't.
If God put
Hashtag
this in
S.A.G.
you, yeah. If
2024 blasting.
Blast off.
because if God put this us in your dreams or in your thinking, it's because it's
Inspiration.
inspiration. Something
And I was
you
inspired
can do.
by George Janko, if you know who that is. Probably not. We watched him today. It was him, remember, and his wife.
Okay. Yes.
And then
yes.
him.
The
inspired
guy
him.
that talks about God.
Yeah, pretty much him. He's pretty cool.
Well, the show we watched was awesome.
And he inspired you to start
A podcast.
Nice. Yeah.
Pretty much. I thought it'd be fun.
making sure
Pretty
that God
cool,
was
dude.
in the forefront of it all.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's how it was
Yeah,
in the
that's
first
why
episode.
he's talking about. It's God and the blessings.
Of course, his
and all
life
this.
and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, he does have a beautiful. Now he has a beautiful fiance.
But I bet he
So-
started from nothing either.
Well, his backstory was he had a toxic friend group. You know, Logan Paul and people like that. Like they didn't really they weren't close to God like he was, and he was made fun of for it. And so he left that podcast and did his own, and his blew up.
Nice.
And now he's spreading the word of
He
God.
had the right captain.
Yeah, that's the plan.
He had the
And-
right captain leading the ship.
And the other thing was that back to he was a a-hole. I think what he said to other people until he was he was looking for the person, but you can't find your person if you're treating other people the way you don't want to treat yourself.
Agreed.
So
You gotta love
when it
other
comes
people.
down to it, back to what I was saying, no matter the people that is the God that's taking away from your life, you can't really hate them because that's not how God wants it to be. That's the devil taking over, which George Janko also said. That's the devil. So you gotta wish them the best, even if they hate you. I got nothing but love for you. I wish you the best. But back to what you're saying is
Tupac said it best too.
it's
I want you to eat,
but
just not at my table.
Just not at my table. So
I mean,
it's
At the end of the
Words have never
day,
been
yeah, I
spoken.
mean,
no matter what the person done to
People
you,
get
no matter
blessed,
if they
man,
hurt you,
and-
whatever, all you can do is wish them the best.
Yeah.
move on.
always
Do
be
it, do
good.
you.
Always be a good person. Even if you got a buddy or anybody next to you or whatever that he's doing really good, be happy for that
Cheer
person.
Yeah, be happy
Cheer
for
him
that
on.
person. Don't be
Genuinely.
selfish.
Yes,
And also-
Care
generally.
about that person. Yep.
Genuinely, yeah, cheer him on. But no, just circling back to what you were saying, pray for your wife, for a girlfriend, for best friend. Pray for your wife.
Oh, I
Pray
always do that.
God will send you somebody who you're not looking
It gives
for.
me chills.
And
Now that I know that
pray for your wife.
I've been doing that for couple.
If that's what you
I
want.
just started doing it a couple. I haven't kept track of all the days I prayed. I know it's a streak, but I haven't kept track when I started because I'm not going to do that.
I prayed
I'm gonna
every
keep on
morning
doing
and
it.
I prayed every night.
But I know he has a wife or a girlfriend or someone for me, and that gives me chills because I'm only 18. I thought what I had was good, but then
But
he took it away,
what's coming is
is
better.
even better. So I mean, it just gives me chills.
Hey, God, he had a wife before me.
Yeah, and he
For-
gave
for-
me something better.
For 6 months.
So that concluding, again, you can't really hate people because that's not how God
Yeah,
wants
just
it to
love, man. Love
they
and
do
wish
you
everybody
bad.
the best. And
And if you don't know how to love, pray
Yeah.
be. Just
about
all
it.
you gotta do is take yourself away from them, but you still wish them the best. There's a reason why they're not in your
Ask
life
God
no
to
more.
teach you. Teach me how to love. Teach me how to speak. Teach me how to be a better
Ask him
person.
for courage.
Teach
Ask
me.
him for
and
wisdom.
always put your hand out there to help others.
And know that no matter what trouble you're going through, there's an end at all of it. What was it like? Through every what was it?
Is there was a rainbow after the rain?
No, there's always the what was it? I forgot what it says, but it's
Through the obstacles.
no, there's always I don't know this. I forgot the saying. I have to go look it up. But other than that, there's always the end of the pain. The pain it's only temporary. It doesn't last forever. It goes away. There's always a blessing. Everything is a blessing. It just depends how you look at it. Depends at the angle you look at it. Someone leaves you. Why? You look at it a certain way. Okay, there's something better. A friendship doesn't work out. A job doesn't work out. There's something better. You just gotta walk in the path that God set for you.
Yeah,
And you can't get away from that path.
But it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry about it, grieve
It's
about
100%.
it.
Yeah.
You got to give yourself that moment to get it out, and then, okay,
You go back again.
how do we move on from
Because
that?
life moves on.
Yeah.
Life goes on.
The
And
way
the thing is, you have to
things
appreciate.
that we do say, like at my job, there's never problems or bad things. There's always learning experience.
Got dos minutos.
So everything you do, everything that happens to you, don't take it, oh, it's bad. No, it's a learning experience.
Right.
And it's going to
it's a
help you
blessing.
get better, grow, and be a better person.
Right. And then the last thing is, we got like a minute left, is that it's a blessing. Everything, you should be appreciated through the hard times you're going through, because
Amen.
we won the lottery in life, pretty much. Back to the video I watch every day. Forgot his freaking name, but I remember what he says. He goes, some people won't even know that there is a lottery, because some people don't. I mean, it's a small chance of living. It's apparently it's like a 1 in a trillion of being birthed or something like that, right? Like, I heard something like
yeah.
it's rare to be.
It is. It's a blessing.
You won the
Being
lottery
here
in
is
life.
a blessing.
You won the
Being
lottery
born
in
is a
life.
blessing.
So, no matter the
And
hard
watching
times.
a life, knowing a grandparent that you had from, you've known all your life, and knowing that their life came to an end, it's a blessing to experience that, because you've seen them not come full circle, but from your full circle from being born to when you see them
All right.
go.
I think we gotta end.
Yeah,
right?
enjoy, but the thing is, enjoy the sunsets, enjoy
yeah.
the sunrises,
Yeah.
enjoy the flowers, enjoy the people, enjoy God. Because God's always going to stick around with you, but the people that He put around you is not going to be there forever.
God is
Sure.
good.
And He's great. So, with that being said, this is
All
the
right,
end of
this
the
was fun.
podcast. Thank y'all for being on here.
Love
Thank
you.
We love you, kid.
Peace out.